guys, welcome to our literature course online. My name is Mrs. Larson and I will be your instructor here for the next 12 weeks. This is my virtual classroom and I want to take some time just to kind of show you where everything is, as well as talk about the first week assignments. Every week I will send out a video like this just to kind of give you a little bit more detail about what the activities are we're doing, so please make sure you watch these videos. I'll try to make them short and sweet and hopefully painless. All right, so here is our classroom. Again, I have my announcement about the course, but you can also see that I have my contact information here. So every time you want to get in touch with me, just log into the class and you can see my Remington email address, my personal Hotmail address, and my personal cell phone. The cell phone, really, I'd rather just for kind of quick questions or emergencies when somebody asks me, can you please explain how to write a 5-paragraph essay? That's a lot for me to respond to in a text message. But if you have a quick question like, should I use the word can't or cannot? That's an easy thing that I can just text you back. So that's really what that's for. But you can also just inbox me right here by clicking there, and that's your virtual email system here in our classroom. So let's talk about the classroom. The announcements will be copies of emails that I send out to you each week. So check your emails regularly, but you can go to the announcement sections as well just to get copies. The modules is the most important part of our course, and that is where everything is. So we're going to start by clicking on modules, and you can see your student resources like the syllabus. But then if you scroll down, you'll see every week divided out. So week 1, 2, 3, 4. I strongly encourage you not to work ahead because I often will make little changes. If I see something's not quite working or the class didn't get all the necessary objectives for the week, I might add something or take something away in the following weeks. So just stick to the week that we're in. So right now we're beginning week 1. You can read about our objectives, so our goals for the week, but more importantly is you do the reading assignment, you participate in our discussion, and you turn in your homework assignment. So we have that same structure every week: required reading, discussion, homework assignment. And all of these things build off of each other. So my suggestion is come online on Monday, do the reading. On Tuesday or Wednesday, make your first post in that discussion area. I need to have your first post by Wednesday. So that way we have the rest of the week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, to respond to you. If you miss that Wednesday due date, don't worry, the discussion is still open through Sunday. So you will be docked 3 points if you post on Thursday or Friday or Saturday or Sunday. After Sunday, the discussion is done. We have moved on. You cannot access the discussion anymore. So we have to make sure that you have your response to the question and peer responses by Sunday. You need a minimum of 2 high-quality responses. So if you wrote something and then I wrote something back to you, you can respond to me and still earn peer participation. If I post an example of something of my own work, you can respond to me and still earn participation. The goal is at least to respond to 2 people. Hopefully that makes sense. The assignment is always done individually. We don't do group work in the class because we have the online discussions. So again, every week you have to turn that in by Sunday. You can submit it early. I won't grade them until Monday, but the assignment has to be in by Sunday. I will accept these assignments late. Remember, I will not accept discussions after Sunday, but I will accept assignments. However, they're only worth half credit after the week ends, and they won't be given a critique or an assessment. It'll just be an automatic 50%. You do need to email me to let me know that you've turned in your work because I won't know otherwise. So email me to tell me you've turned in late work and I'll make sure that you get a grade. So that's kind of the nitty-gritty about how the course works. Again, everything is already here. I don't suggest you work ahead because if I make changes or delete something, then you're gonna have to go back and do it over again. So stick in our current week. And let's talk briefly about our week. So, week 1 reading. Hopefully my internet's not too slow. You have these 2 links to read. So what is literature and the definition of literature? Reading these 2 things will help you answer our discussion question. So once you've clicked on that, you've read through the article, you can click next to access our discussion. And here it is. Sorry, you can hear my toddler. You'll hear him probably a lot over the next 12 weeks. So this is my discussion question to you. I will get you juice in just a minute. Shh. All right, so I said, tell us about yourself. I want to get to know you before we really dive into class, because I think it's important for us to know a little bit about each other, and hopefully you'll post some pictures of yourself. You can make an avatar so we can see your face, but you can post pictures here as well. And then tell me your experience with literature. Do you think of yourself as a reader? Why or why not? Do you hate reading? Well, why? And then, based upon what you just read for our assignments, tell me, well, what is literature? And in your own words, I want you to describe what you use to evaluate whether or not something is a piece of literature. For example, would you consider a Facebook post literature? If not, why? Would you consider a news article in your local newspaper a piece of literature? Why or why not? So really think about it. What makes good literature to you? You'll notice I already posted kind of instructions for the course, but what you'll need to do is press reply right here to make your response by Wednesday. Now, if you wanted to respond to me, so I introduced myself here, and I could be any student, right? If I was reading Bob Smith's article here, and I wanted to respond to Bob Smith, I could just press reply under his name. Again, you have to respond to at least 2 people, and responding to me counts. So you have to respond to at least 2 people in the classroom after you've made your initial post. So hopefully everybody's ready to move on. Again, that's our discussion area. I want to go back to look at my assignments, so I can just click on modules. And again, week 1 assignments. And again, the assignment is due by Sunday. So in this one, you're writing an essay, but it's a journal essay, so I'm not expecting it to be very formal. It doesn't have to have a thesis statement. It doesn't really have to have formal language, but I'd like to see your writing style. The goal is for me to get to know you a little bit better this week, but also to help see your strengths and weaknesses as a writer so that I can help you move forward. So imagine you're creating a diary entry and write in the first person. The first person is I statements, right? I did this, I enjoyed that, I didn't like this. Reflect on a piece of literature from your childhood that had an impact on you. In your paper, include details on what the work was, what your memories and experiences around it were, and how it affected your life. Please use an introduction, body, and conclusion paragraphs, and cite the work you're discussing on a reference page at the end. There is no word count, but I should have a minimum of 3 paragraphs, right? Intro, body, conclusion. Now, you might wonder, well, how do I write about a piece of literature when I was a kid? I didn't read anything. That's not true. Every single one of you were in kindergarten and your kindergarten teacher read to you over and over again. Maybe your grandmother used to read to you. Maybe in 2nd grade you wrote your first story and it was based on your favorite book at the time. You've probably all read things like A Wrinkle in Time, Indian in the Cupboard, Island of the Blue Dolphins, the BFG. There's so many great young people stories. I know for myself, things like Tiki Tiki Tembo was a great read that my mother had to memorize for a project she was doing. She was a kindergarten teacher. So I remember her reading it over and over and over and over again. And it impacted my life because it really taught me the cadence of literature. So I could talk about that in an essay. I could talk about how I loved The Wizard of Oz. I loved the story. And I used to write stories based upon that. I could write about... what's that, Brave Little Engine, right? I think I can. There's so many cute little parables and stories and children's books that we've all read before, and I want you to pick one of those and tell me your experience with it. Where were you when you read it? Did you read it in the library? Did your mother read it to you? Did your grandmother read it to you? Did your father read it to you? Did you read it to yourself? Do you remember the first book that you ever read all on your own, maybe when you were in 5th grade or 6th grade? Think about something, again, that impacted you and write me about it. So it's a narrative essay about a piece of literature. Hopefully that makes sense. Please notice it's worth 100 points. I do need to see that citation at the end. If you're having a hard time with APA format, I suggest using citationmachine.net online, and you can get the format for the full citation online for me. All right, hopefully that makes sense. If you need any help, please let me know. Again, I'll send out videos like this each week to kind of walk you through our weekly objectives. All right, guys, good luck, and I'll see you online.